Every year, on roads we trust, a silent epidemic claims 1.3 million lives worldwide. Sleepiness and driver fatigue contribute to 10 to 30% of all crashes, with up to 1/4 of fatal and serious collisions linked to tired drivers. Fatigue doesn't just make drivers nod off, but it makes crashes about 50% more likely to be severe because there's no braking or avoidance before impact. Today, that crisis becomes solvable. Introducing DriveAlive, a neurosimulation patch that prevents driver fatigue before it ever endangers a life. Hi, my name is Kaira Desai, and I'm the innovator and entrepreneur behind DriveAlive. DriveAlive is a wearable skin-adhesive neurosimulation patch that delivers low-intensity mechanical and thermal simulation to sensory receptors in the cervical region and in the brain's reticular activating system. Layer by layer, it includes a biocompatible sweat-resistant silicone shell that protects the system. Beneath it is a rechargeable microbattery that powers continuous low-intensity cycles, an ultra-thin flexible PCB with a microcontroller precisely timed simulation to prevent neural slowdown and microsleep. A microvibration actuator simulates the cervical mechanoreceptors to sustain signaling to the brainstem, while a thin thermoelectric strip delivers subtle warm and cool cycles to activate thermoreceptors. Finally, a washable medical-grade silicone adhesive base enables repeated use, making DriveAlive a one-time purchase. Today, the fatigue prevention market is a red ocean crowded with reactive solutions competing on detection accuracy rather than prevention. In this market, companies are competing on better eye cameras, better eye tracking accuracy, faster detection algorithms, and smarter AI alerts. But they're all solving the problems the same way. They detect fatigue after alertness has already dropped. That is the trap. They compete on reaction speed, whereas DriveAlive competes on prevention. On the buyer utility map, we can see the pain points faced by buyers. Most current AI camera-based driver monitoring systems are expensive, requiring dedicated hardware integration. They also operate on a reactive alarm model, meaning intervention only occurs after drowsiness is detected. Sudden alarms can startle drivers, potentially leading to abrupt or unsafe reactions. In addition, these systems often require calibration and interface setup, introducing unnecessary complexity for everyday users. Their performance is also highly environment dependent. Low light conditions, glare, or even sunglasses can significantly reduce detection accuracy. Finally, continuous facial monitoring raises legitimate privacy concerns, as drivers may be uncomfortable with being recorded or tracked during use. DriveAlive, on the other hand, doesn't compete directly with AI camera systems. Instead, DriveAlive reconstructs the industry's value curve. We eliminate surveillance monitoring and lighting dependence. We reduce cost barriers and alarm-based startle risks. We raise privacy protection, accessibility, and reliability, and most importantly, we create an entirely new category: the physiological prevention of microsleep rather than the visual detection of it. This shifts the industry from reactive monitoring to proactive neural support. Now let's look at the industry as-is graph. AI-based driver monitoring systems compete heavily on detection accuracy, camera sophistication, alarm intensity, and data processing. But notice what's underinvested: affordability, privacy protection, preventive intervention, and simplicity. The industry is optimizing detection, not solving the root problem. Now if we look at DriveAlive's 2B strategy, the curve shifts dramatically. We reduce reliance on camera, hardware, and reactive alarms. We raise affordability, system simplicity, and privacy protection. And most importantly, we create a new focus on preventive neural intervention. To validate demand, we surveyed 233 adults aged 18 plus. 94.4% of licensed drivers said fatigue prevention technology is necessary, and 91.8% said that they will purchase it at an accessible price point. While demand among current drivers is strong, the real growth opportunity lies beyond existing buyers, in the 3 tiers of non-customers. Tier 1 shows drivers who know that fatigue is dangerous but don't own AI monitoring systems, or who rely on coffee or breaks instead of tech. Tier 2 shows drivers uncomfortable with surveillance cameras, and Tier 3 shows commercial fleet drivers in low-cost vehicles, or public transport drivers, or even two-wheel drivers. By addressing cost, privacy, and simplicity simultaneously, DriveAlive converts these non-customers into active adopters. The opportunity is massive. Driver alert systems grow from $7.1 billion in 2025 to $12.9 billion by 2035. Driver monitoring system markets rise from $3 billion to over $8 billion in the next decade. And our focus, commercial trucking, is an $85 billion market that is expected to become $167 billion by 2035. MNCs rely on these fleets to move raw materials and finished goods, making driver fatigue both a major safety risk and a direct financial liability. DriveAlive sits at the intersection of these rapidly expanding multi-billion-dollar markets. Let's talk numbers. Our pricing strategy. We're using a cost-plus pricing model, and our total cost per unit is $6.94. Using a 50% markup, we sell it at $10.49 per unit. This gives us a profit margin of 34%. So yes, we've made it affordable, we've made it scalable, and we've made it practical.
That is
Why
You should.
choose.
DriveAlive.
Because 1 second of microsleep should never cost a lifetime.